folks really don't understand how much we're needed and how much it takes to keep every life alive. I didn't realize what I was doing in bird rescue until I realized I'm getting calls every other day. I better start taking records and see how many I'm doing. And summer and spring, 5 calls a day. This was a hobby, and it just grew to a need. Put your crest on. Oh, you okay? You want the girls? Oh,
So what is he?
a Muscovy duck. We have documented a lot of our activities because a lot of people are like, no way, you didn't do that. Sure, you had 5 hawks last year. Sure, you took in 15 macaws. Sure, you did a rescue of 60 birds in 1 phone call. And a lot of people realize, well, why don't you record it? All right, this is Chris with Northwest Bird Rescue here in Vancouver, Washington, on a juvenile blue heron that can't fly in this parking lot. We're about to go up and do a real quick capture and bring him in for some rehab. All right, we got him here. Okay, he's a little bit dehydrated also. So look at some liquids in him. Okay, how's this kill? Beautiful extension. It sounds strong enough, but I can see the one in the middle there. It seems like a runt. We're going to call him Runty for right now. Looking close, looks like some of the major challenges of operating Northwest Bird Rescue for the length that we have is the demand is out there more than a lot of people know, especially in our exotic field. Peaches, go on in. Go. And she has a special room inside. My average day is 4 to 5 hours sleep, 7 days a week, working 2 jobs and taking care of 30 birds in 3 locations. Now, each bird averages us $65 in Baytril, which is an antibiotic, so we keep them healthy and quarantine for 10 days before they get introduced to the rest of the flock, whether it be the small bird division, medium, or large, and then the cost of the overhead of actually feeding each bird. Each bird lasts with us on an average of 8 months for us to go out and find the proper home. It is true, I've had to make a few sacrifices in my life. Thus, I've always been single, almost married twice. I have 32 kids at home at this moment that need me. There's a routine. I have to be there for them. Each one has a different bio, different types of music, different types of food, a different routine where they have to exercise. Some are depressed, and I got to pull them out of that shell every now and then. This lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo was actually abandoned by its owner, given to the neighbor. Neighbor was driving up here on a long-distance drive nonstop. Unfortunately, baby suffered due to this drive up here nonstop in a smaller cage than normal. She had pain in her leg, nerve damage happened, where she chewed her toes off out of pain. And then after that, we were given a call on the weekend because I couldn't afford any vet care, and I gave her emergency triage care, and she's been in our care ever since for the last 6 years. Now to date, we have over $4,300 invested in just surgeries, not to count the supplements. Without a doubt, she's special. She's actually died in my hands once, and I was able to bring her back with the right medications. One time she was very skittish, and now you can cuddle her and handle her. She knows that she's being rescued. In 1999, Rosita came to us. She was in a college dorm where she didn't have the proper diet, the proper housing, and needed more interaction. So in return, she started self-mutilating, pulling her feathers out of boredom, And when the humans noticed that, oh, you're pulling out your feathers, started giving the bird positive reinforcement for the negative action, the bird thought, oh, just keep pulling out my feathers, I'll get more attention.
She essentially had people turn her back on her for prolonged periods of time. She wasn't given a proper diet. So as a result, she felt like she was in trouble. She had done something wrong. I'm hoping to see her look like a regular Solomon Island eclectus again. When I got her 3 months ago, she had no feathers below her neck, and they've slowly started to grow in. So hopefully in about a year, she'll have a full plumage of bright red feathers.
Caesar the Goffin's cockatoo was truly my inspiration for bird rescue, because when I was a novice stepping into larger birds, I had a gentleman ask me to trade a parakeet for this unseen cockatoo. Took Caesar in, taught him how to roller skate. He's a wonderful sweetheart of a bird. I can call him from across the room when he flies. Of all the birds, he's always been my alpha. He's been my heart, my spirit, the reason why I get up every day to make sure other birds are not going to be neglected like him. When I started off doing rescues, birds would come and go, but he would also announce when a bird was needing help. If it escaped out of its cage, immediately Caesar would be the tattletale. Regardless of the size of the bird, including Goliath in there, if Caesar wants that apple or if he wants to be on that room, that cage, he'll come over and he'll knock you off just to show that he is alpha. So we call this place Caesar's Palace because Caesar runs the palace. Things have been attacked at us. We're still here. We're still needed. So we will proceed. We will continue to go on. Good always prevails over evil, and we are fortunate to be here. This community, the Northwest at least, where I'm at, my region, they really need help, and I'm still having a hard time saying no. And help me, if you can, to continue not saying no by helping us out, taking care of our nest.